Hey everyone, my name is Kabir Taneja. I'm an Associate Fellow at the Observer Research Foundation, and today I will be talking about the Islamic State and the fall of the Islamic State. We saw last week the Syrian Democratic Forces officially announced the defeat of ISIS, and that created a lot of conversation around the world because what does this mean? What does the defeat of ISIS mean? Is the terror group over, or has it lost legitimacy? Or has it just lost its geography? So we are going to have a quick discussion about these three main points. First of all, it's important to remember that the Islamic State was a proto-state where the Caliph Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in 2014 announced that the territory currently held by the rebels under him was now known as Islamic State, or as a state that he resides over. And beyond this, of course, he also had a military of his own, and he took control of a lot of towns, villages, cities, bigger in area than the United Kingdom at a point of time, which is a sizable amount. But of course, the last month, the SDF said that they have defeated this caliphate and of course freed all of these people. The last battle that they fought was in the town of Baghouz in Deir ez-Zor, which is a parched, dry piece of land in southern Syria in the middle of a desert. And so now the question is, what does this mean? Is ISIS not going to be there anymore? What happened to the thousands of fighters that were fighting for it? Where did they go? And how is it going to be in the future? What we have seen is that hundreds of fighters were actually captured by Iraqi military, by the Syrian military, and by most predominantly the Kurds, who are the Syrian Democratic Forces. And the Kurds have now been telling a lot of these people, who are also foreigners by example, so they come from Europe, they come from the US, Canada, Australia, a bunch of other countries, and they've been telling these countries now to take them back. But most countries are refusing to do so. I think France is the only one that has managed to, or agreed to, take back a few. So this means that there are now for the proto-state, there are now proto-courts that are running, in which there is no official justice system that's taking place, but these people are being sentenced to death by the dozens, sometimes per day. And a lot of questions are being raised. A lot of these people are thought to be people who joined the Islamic State under the pressure of either safeguarding their families because they had no other option, or they were threatened with death. So they didn't have actually anywhere to go but to join the Islamic State. So this is just one of the points that is being discussed after the supposed defeat of ISIS. But also we have to realize now that ISIS is going to stay on as an insurgency. It started off as an insurgency before it got the proto-state, and now it is still conducting attacks on security forces, and its online apparatus and online propaganda machine is releasing videos, pictures and audios of these attacks that are taking place. Finally, we are going to quickly point out that the threat of resurgence of the Islamic State is still real. We have to remember that the Islamic State installed itself into the Syrian civil war. The Syrian civil war did not start because of the Islamic State. It started as a battle between President Assad of Syria and forces loyal to him and groups that were against his regime, and that is where ISIS thrived. So ISIS thrived in political vacuum, and that vacuum still exists. The threat of an ISIS resurgence is still real. Thanks for listening, and to read more about this issue, check out my article which is linked below, and do subscribe to ORF to keep up to date with the latest happenings around the world.